Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Kia ora. Welcome to Lido Chill Out Disaster News. I'm Grace.
And I'm Elijah.
In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We will help them find it in the latest news and weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down. If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you may think they've read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction, and well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and the rest of its roof, and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes and an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would have taken 3 weeks to build, but this one took over 4 months because workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick or dizzy after just a few minutes inside. Now we cross over to our reporter Coralie, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Coralie?
Thanks, Grace. I'm here with the owner of the house, Emily, and I'm feeling a bit sick, to be honest. So, what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
Well, everything's the same, so I decided to do something different for once.
That's a bit different. What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
Well, everything's a little bit boring, so I decided to turn the world upside down.
Amazing. What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything is upside down?
Well, going to the toilet, because when you sit on it, all of your business falls out.
Okay, thank you. Well, this house is very scientific, so does it make you want to become a scientist?
Yeah, but you should meet my mum. She invented the toothbrush and the amazing toothpaste.
Okay, thank you. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Coralie with the Lido Chill Out Disaster News. Back to you, Elijah, in the studio.
Thanks, Coralie. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look at Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says the possibilities are endless and we are very excited. However, science invented the invisibility cloak. The scientists have been having trouble finding it as soon as we put it down somewhere. It just disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it appears that they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. Joining link. What will happen? What will this invisible cloak be using for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak. Here is our on the spot reporter Jesse with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Jesse Francis, and with me here is Lily, one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi Lily, and thanks for joining us today. So, what made you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, one day, me and my assistant were sitting around watching Harry Potter, and then we thought, hey, why don't we make an invisibility cloak?
It's very amazing. Can you please show me how the invisibility cloak works?
It's working right now.
What was that?
Well, my assistant.
Whoa! Oh, that's amazing! So, what do you hope the cloak would be used for?
Well, scientific reasons like sneaking into movies.
Ooh. So, what do you think your next invention would be?
An invisibility cloak to cover the whole entire world.
To keep invaders and aliens away?
No, just for fun.
Okay, so, well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Grace, in the studio.
Thanks, Jesse. And now, how's for an interesting yarn. A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts and small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal, but because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission, the popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing. Police say they warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be dressed warmly against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. There are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We are now to go to a secret location with our investigate reporter Tamaho, who has an exclusive interview with one of the other Midnight Knitter gangs.
Thanks, Grace. Hi, I'm Tamaho, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Emma. Oh, and thanks for joining us. What led you into the dark underworld of knitting graffiti?
Well, Tamaho, I think things need to be a bit more pretty.
Do you see yourself as a criminal?
No, not at all. I think I'm a bit too old for jail.
Apart of trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
Maybe buildings to make them a bit pretty.
What else would you do instead of knitting?
I think I should become an All Black and try and win the Rugby World Cup.
Thanks for your time, Grace. Oh, wait. Emma of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Jasmine and Kayla with the weather update. See ya.
Thank you, Tama, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting with the far north in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there will be a mix of conditions. You will just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but it's expecting to be back for the weekend. In Napier, and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changing and sometimes not. We have no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki, a cold freeze brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It will be overcast and gloom all morning, but things should cheer up but the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have other capital days. There will be no winds at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant. They will actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can accept to be a good day. Meeting for friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspaper, but try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A really mix of for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfalls, some sensible winds, moderate thunderstorms, and some very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning. Then the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Grace and Elijah.
Thanks, Kyla and Jasmine. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed the evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Elijah.
And I'm Grace.
From Lido Chill Out Disaster News. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we feature an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2.
2.